can we start the class? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who is absent today? Who have not joined till now?
Ma'am, Jimse, she informed me that she didn't have network, ma'am.
Okay. Then who else? Only Dimse or one? Okay, leave it. If they are not joining, it's their loss. Okay. So today we'll discuss about lesson planning. So about lesson plan, you have any idea what is lesson plan? Any one of you have any idea what is lesson plan? Do you have any idea? Any one of you? Barisha?
Yes, ma'am.
What is lesson plan? What is the meaning?
Uh, a guide for the student from the teachers.
Okay. So I think you all have seen what is lesson plan. I think all of you have met also when during your seminars or maybe during your health talks. So lesson planning, the main concept of lesson planning is it is the outline of outline of the teaching learning material what you are going to take for your student. Okay, for example, suppose I want to teach today about lesson planning. Okay, so for that I have to prepare myself to take your classes. Okay, so the preparation is known as lesson plan, or the process is known as lesson planning. Okay, so through lesson planning I'll do my preparation, then I'll write it down somewhere. Okay, the written content is known as lesson plan, and the process it is known as lesson planning. Okay, you got the idea? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So definition of lesson planning. So this definition is not given by someone. So if you are writing this definition, you can modify by yourself. Okay, according to your concept, according to your knowledge, or whatever you remember, you can modify it, because whatever definition I have put on my slide, it is not given by anyone. Okay, so what they are saying, it is the teacher's mental and emotional visualization of the classroom experience as he plans it to occur. So I have already told you that it is the advanced planning of the lesson what you are going to take for your student. So visualization of mental and emotional content of, or experience of the classroom. Okay, so you know about your student. Suppose you are going to teach post basic first year, you know them. Okay, their level of understanding, their topics, how many students are there, what type of students are there, everything you know from before, and you are going to take class for them. So you will have their mental image. Whenever you are making your lesson plan, you should have mental image of your student, because according to their understanding level or according to their level you have to make your lesson planning. Okay, lesson plan always we have to make from before. Okay, before taking the class we have to make our lesson plan. It is the blueprint of what a teacher is going to do. Blueprint of what the teacher is going to do in the classroom. Okay, so before giving health talk, you used to make the lesson plan. So whatever you want to do during your health talk, okay, what activities you want to do, what content you want to give them, how you want to evaluate your group, so everything will be there in the lesson plan. It is the blueprint of what a teacher is going to do. Okay, so that is the definition of lesson plan. Now, why we need lesson plan? Any idea why we need lesson plan? Is there in the slide? Why we need lesson plan?
Because it helps us to achieve some goals and objectives.
Okay, so we need lesson plan to achieve our goal and objective. Yes, you are correct. So it will guide the teacher in presentation of the subject matter. You have seen the lesson plan or not? You have the concept how it look like? You all have seen lesson plan? Just say yes or no.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Just say yes or no. Have you seen the lesson plan? Did you make?
No, ma'am.
You have not seen. Okay, so let me show the lesson plan how it's look like. So this is the lesson plan how it's look like. Okay, this is the format. So here everything will be the name of the teacher or name of the student, the subject, whatever you are teaching, their unit, their topic, group of student whom you are teaching. Can you see this lesson plan format? Then method of teaching.
Yes, ma'am.
What method you want to apply? Maybe lecture method, maybe discussion, okay, maybe group discussion, maybe demonstration. So what type of teaching method you want to apply, you want to take. Then teaching aid mane yo what type of audio visual aids you are going to use during the class. Then venue, it may be classroom, it may be community, okay, where you are going to take your class. Then previous knowledge of the group. Obviously you have to know previous knowledge of the group. So I already told you that whenever you are going to make lesson plan, you will know the their knowledge level, okay, their status. So you will be knowing from before. So you will be knowing the previous knowledge of the group. For example, suppose BSc first year you are taking a class and you want to teach the anatomy and physiology of brain. Okay, so regarding brain, they will not have that much knowledge about brain, BSc first year. But if you want to teach the same topic to post basic first year, obviously they will have more knowledge than BSc first year, because they already have studied about brain in GNM third year or GNM first year. Okay, so you have to know their status, their previous knowledge. Okay, so these are the things have to be there in the lesson plan. This is the first page of your lesson plan. After that, after this first page, what you need to make? Your aim and your objective. Okay, aim to impart knowledge about the specific subject. Suppose you want to take class on brain, okay, physiology or anatomy of brain. So to impart knowledge, your aim will be to impart knowledge regarding anatomy and physiology of brain. That one is your aim. Okay, then your objectives, to know the anatomy and physiology, what are the things you need to teach them. So you have to teach each and every part of brain, then brain functions, what they used to do. Okay, so everything you have to make objective. To achieve your aim, what are the things you need to do, those things will be your objective. Okay, then after aims and objective, your content will be coming one after another. Okay, again suppose introduction, to introduce about brain. Okay, so that one will be your first part. So after introduction, then definition. If your content is having any kind of definition, then you can include definition, classification, types, all those things you can include in your lesson plan. And we have already discussed the educational domains, right? So in the evaluation part, you can use the knowledge of educational domain and you can evaluate your student for each and every part. Okay, so that is all about lesson plan. If you have not seen, when you will come back, I'll try to show you all. Okay, but this is an format of lesson plan. Clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's discuss the purposes. So in the purposes we have already discussed that it guides the teacher in presentation of the subject matter. It will guide your teacher or it will guide yourself. If you are making the lesson plan, it will guide the teacher or it will guide the whoever is giving the lecture. Okay, then it focuses on consideration of goals and objective, selection of the subject matter, selection of procedure, the planning of activities, the preparation of the test of progress. It keeps the teacher on the track. It ensures the steady progress and definite outcome of the teaching learning procedure. It creates confidence in teacher in conducting the class. It encourages organization of the subject matter in activities, prevent haphazard teaching. Then it serves as a check on unplanned curriculum continuity and correctness. So these are the purpose of lesson plan. The lines are very easy. So from here overall what you can conclude, first thing, it will guide yourself or it will guide the teacher. If you are going to take a class, it will guide you how to take the class, because from before you will have a planning. Okay, so that's why before every class your teacher used to prepare themselves. If I'll go without, sometimes we need to go without preparation to your class, that time sometimes we miss the track because we don't have the planning with ourselves. Okay, we don't know what to do because lack of time. Sometimes we used to go without preparation. At that time we used to suffer because we cannot be on the track if you are going without planning. That's why always try to plan your class from before, then it will help you to be in the track. Okay, so it will provide guidance to the teacher, it will keep the teacher on track, then it will prevent haphazard teaching because you will have the plan, so you know what to teach and what to avoid. Okay, then it will help in the selection of goal and objective. If you have your goal and objective, then only you can achieve it. Yes or no? So for everything we have to have the goal and objective. So it will help in creation of goal and objective and to achieve it. Then next, what else? It will help the teacher to select the aviates. Okay, because if you are teaching with aviates, the teaching learning outcome is good. Yes or no? Because if you are doing without aviates, but due to lack of time, sometimes it's difficult for us to take the aviates. But if you are going with aviates, obviously the learning will be very effective. Okay, because seeing and learning is very effective. Then what else? You can plan the evaluation process from before. Okay, so lesson plan, it contain everything. It will contain the aims and objective of the class, then what teaching learning methods she is going to use, then how she is going to evaluate her student. So everything will be there in the lesson planning. So it is an overall blueprint of your class, how you are going to take, or you can say outline how you are going to take the class. It is the outline which is to make from before how you are going to take the class. This is known as lesson planning. Okay, so these are the purpose of your lesson plan. Okay, now what the teacher need prerequisition for a good lesson planning. What are the things we need to have to make a good lesson plan? So the teacher should have adequate mastery and practice if it is for skill lesson. So the teacher have to have good knowledge about the topic, because if I don't know about the topic, so it is difficult for me to give you information. So sometimes what happen, we used to go to the class without any preparation because of lack of time. Okay, that time if you don't have proper knowledge, or maybe for the first time I am teaching the particular topic to you all, so it is very difficult. Okay, if I don't have proper knowledge about the particular topic. That's why whenever you are making lesson plan or whenever you are preparing for class, you should have proper knowledge about the particular topic. Then next one is teacher must be fully conversant with the new methods and techniques of teaching his or her subject. So the teacher should have proper knowledge regarding different method of teaching, so that she can use different method of teaching in her classroom to reduce the boredom. If always will use the lecture method, so sometimes what happens, students, they become very bored. Only the teacher is coming and she is giving lecture, she is not encouraging any kind of discussion in the class, so sometimes it become boring to the student. So as a teacher, you should aware about the different method of teaching, and you should use the different method of teaching in your lesson. Okay, sometimes for some topic or for some subtopic you can give lecture. Okay, and maybe next topic you can use the discussion method. Okay, then you can use the demonstration method for your practical lesson. So you should use different method of teaching and learning. Then next one is teacher must have good knowledge of psychology, culture, community, and cite various example accordingly. So teacher should have good knowledge on psychology, culture. Okay, why we need to have good knowledge on psychology and culture? Any idea? As a teacher, we should have good knowledge about psychology of student and culture. Why? Hmm?
For better understanding of the student.
Okay, so we have to respect our student. Okay, respect, if you not give respect, nobody will respect you. Always remember, you cannot just one respect for yourself, you have to respect other, then only you will be getting the respect. So always we have to respect our student, we have to know their psychology. Okay, so in your class someone may be very good, okay, they can pick up everything in a just one line or in one lecture. Okay, but some student maybe they are psychologically they are weak. That's why you have to know the psychology of your student, and you have to know their cultural background. Okay, so that you can understand your student very well, and according to them you can prepare your lesson. That's why we have to know the psychology and culture. For every teacher this is very important. Then ensure effective learner participation during a class. Always you have to encourage your student to participate in the lecture. Okay, you have to ask question, then they should ask their doubts to the teacher. You have to encourage them to participate in the lecture, in the classroom, then only it will be a good class. Okay, then maintain interest and motivation of the student. So if the class is not interesting, people used to sleep. Okay, so uh, to prevent that problem, we have to make our class very interesting. But still, if the class is interesting also, some students used to sleep. Why? Because their mind is somewhere else. Mostly roll number 33 used to sleep in all classes, right? So I don't know what is the problem. So always you should try to make your class interesting, and you should try to motivate your student. Always try to motivate your student. Scolding is not the way of handling your student. Okay, so if you motivate your student and according to their level of understanding, according to their level, so they will always be motivated. So if you can motivate it, obviously they will have interest in the class. Then avoid boredom, so I have already explained. Then there should be variety and novelty in the types of presentation. So your way of taking class, there should be variety. Only giving lectures sometimes does not work. Okay, student may feel bored, so sometimes you can give them a topic to discuss, sometimes you can conduct quiz. Okay, sometimes you can conduct some kind of competition, then discussion. Those things you can adapt in your class to make your class more interesting. Okay, these are the prerequisition for a good lesson planning. So first thing and very important thing, you have to understand your student. Okay, you have to have proper understanding about their level of knowledge, and according to their level of knowledge you have to prepare your content. This is the most important prerequisite of making a lesson plan. When you will work as a teacher later on, first you try to understand your student. Okay, so after understanding your student, according to their level you have to make your lesson planning. Okay, so next one is the steps in preparing a plan. So what are the steps we need to follow whenever you are making a lesson plan? Okay, first let's talk about objective. The topic and subtopic of the lesson plan are converted into learning objective, general and specific objective. So in nursing we are following like we are writing aim of your lesson plan. Aim will be to impart knowledge, okay, to impart skill, to make your students skillful about the particular topic. That one should be your aim. So whenever you are writing lesson plan, your first heading will be after first page, whatever we have already discussed. Okay, after first page your aim will come. Aim will be always to impart knowledge or to impart skill, okay, to make your students skillful. Those things you can write in your aim. After aim you can write your objective. Okay, again objective, there are two types of objective. One is general objective and one is specific objective. Now what is general objective? General objective is somewhat like your aim. Okay, so for example, if you want to teach if you want to demonstrate the hand washing technique, okay, so for hand washing technique you are going to take a demonstration class for your student on hand washing technique. So what should be your aim, what should be your general objective, and what should be your specific objective? Any idea? What should be your aim? Please answer, anyone. Gracie is there? No.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me what should be the aim of your lesson plan for hand washing demonstration.
To
To
improve the knowledge, like to improve the demonstration of the.
To impart knowledge on hand washing technique. Let's say that one is your aim. Okay, you can modify your aim according to yourself. Okay, then what can be general objective? To improve knowledge about hand washing technique. That one is your aim. To have knowledge about hand washing technique, what are the things they should learn?
They should learn the steps of hand washing.
Importance of hand washing. What is hand washing? First they should know. Yes. Then what is the importance of hand washing? They should know. What are the steps in hand washing? They should know. Okay. Then you can add up advantages also. Disadvantages also you can add up. Frequent hand washing may lead to some skin problem. Okay, so advantages and disadvantages also you can add up. So whatever is there in your content, so those things will be in your general objective. Your aim is to impart knowledge about hand washing. Okay, then your general objective is to teach the student regarding hand washing, importance, steps, advantages or disadvantages. That one is your general objective. Clear? Whatever is there in your content, you can write down in your general objective. Now come to the specific objective. So for every for example, what is hand washing? Okay, this is the one part of your content. So you are going to write about hand washing. Then if you want to define it, you can define by yourself. So those things will be in your introduction. Yes. So then next you will come, what will come? The importance of hand washing. Next, the steps of hand washing. So for every part of your content, you have to have a specific objective. Just for example, to define hand washing. Okay, that one will be your first specific objective. If you are writing definition of hand washing at the first, then to give knowledge regarding the importance of hand washing, another specific objective. To teach the student the steps of hand washing. Okay, your third specific objective. Then to teach the student regarding the advantages of hand washing, your fourth specific objective. So for every part of your content, you will have one specific objective. Clear? You are getting the idea what is aim, what is general objective, and what is specific objective?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear? Any confusion?
Yes.
So I think you will be able to make the aim, general objective, and specific objective. If you have any confusion, you can ask me now. No? Okay, if you don't have any confusion, then we can proceed. And then objectives should be stated in behavioral objective which are measurable. So always your objective have to be measurable. Smart, your objective have to be smart. Have you heard this term? I think in research you have studied about objectives. Yes or no? Monica ma'am, you have taken class on objectives. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Objective should be smart. So what is SMART stand for? Who will tell me? Keno, are you there? Keno?
Yes, ma'am.
Smart means what? Objective have to be smart. S-M-A-R-T. Is it taught? Is taught or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Purnima, can you tell me?
yes, ma'am. It's smart. It is to be sustainable. M means it should be measurable.
Good.
And A means it should be attainable. R forgot, ma'am.
R?
R is for
Yeah, R is for? Anybody can answer.
reasonable.
Reasonable. Is it correct, group?
Realistic.
Realistic. Okay, which one is correct? Reasonable or realistic?
Realistic, ma'am.
Realistic.
Realistic.
So for R, you can use both the term, reasonable or realistic. So try to know the meaning of both the terms. It is same. Okay, reasonable or realistic. Okay, then T for
Time bound.
okay, so your objective have to be smart. Okay, it not only in case of research. Whenever you are making objective, your objective have to be measurable. Measurable means what? You should be able to evaluate whether you have achieved your objective or not. Okay, for example, your one specific objective may be to give knowledge regarding the steps of hand washing. Okay, so that's one of your specific objectives. So how you can measure whether you have achieved your objectives or not? By doing evaluation. Yes, you can tell them to re-demonstrate the procedure, the steps of hand washing. Yes or no? So you'll be able to evaluate you'll be able to measure your objective. So objective have to be measurable. You should be able to evaluate whether you have achieved your objectives or not. Okay, then time limit should be set for attaining each objective, and it should be included in the lesson plan. Okay, for every specific objective there should be specific time limit. Maybe for just for introduction of the topic you are giving only 2 minutes, because for introduction you does not need that much time. Okay, so you are allotting 2 minutes for the introduction. So in the 2 minutes only you try to complete the introduction part. Okay, then to the importance of hand washing, maybe your whole class is 30-minute class, then you have to divide your timing. For introduction you have to give, for example, you are giving 2 minutes, then for steps you are giving more times, because you have to teach the student, you have to demonstrate the student regarding the steps of hand washing. Maybe you are allotting 15 minutes for the steps. So according to the need you have to allocate time for each and every specific objective. Clear? Understood till now? Okay, then teacher should relate the lesson plan with the previous class and prepare few questions so as to identify the gaps and stimulate learning to the student. So always you should try to evaluate your specific objective. To evaluate your specific objective you have to make questions, then only you can evaluate your student. So in the evaluation column also is to be there in the lesson plan. Yes, so you should prepare few questions to evaluate your student. Okay, then while selecting the content, teacher has to see that it is suitable to the student level of learning and relate to the objective to be attained. So obviously you have to know your student previous knowledge, and accordingly you have to prepare your class. Then teaching learning activities, you have to include what are the teaching learning activities you want to use, or what are the teaching learning method you want to use for your class. Then assignment and evaluation. If you want to give any assignment, that one also have to be there in your lesson plan. And evaluation column, I have already discussed that evaluation column will be there in the lesson planning. How and what type of question you want to use to evaluate your student. Okay, so these are the things have to be there in the lesson plan. Steps of making lesson plan. So this is just an example of lesson plan format. Understood? What is lesson plan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Nobody have seen lesson plan?